few more points in my head going into this game.
Yeah, we were just chatting a little bit about the Amy Zap, and now we get to see it. Yeah, with as specialized training, they definitely going to ban Vice and Luna pick, so eradicating most of the super omega damage that we're going to be seeing here. But yeah, in turn, we do see specialized training Rasmus, which could, there's a chance this causes some problems, but, we'll have to find out. Yeah, can't say for sure, although Temple Melon winning out, and that interaction, Gumi can't get there in time with a strike. First point over to the Rat Pack. Yeah, I mean, they were like, yeah, let's just let them have Rasmus, and they were happy taking Estelle Drakkar, so I'm interested to see how this one plays out.
I do want to look at, I think Drakkar, once Xianzhu can pick up a level 2 and get the ultimate ability, I think Specialized Drakkar is like a sleeper OP pick. We saw it actually in the must-have tier in the tier list today. So that's pretty awesome. But I think that Spec Drakkar is not something that most people really put that much money on, but that thing can just kill you sometimes. So if Xianzhu can slowly but surely make our way to get unlocking ultimate ability, I'm expecting to see Xianzhu actually kind of contest tempo and a lot of kills that we're going to be looking for this game.
Yeah, definitely no stranger to like a dash punch situation. These characters are always enjoying that stuff, trying to act like Juliet on every front that they can. Temple Melon does end up winning that final situation given to them by Carmine. Frightfully Fresh going to hand the ball up onto the top, and wow, gets actually kind of bamboozled there by the Joker, and another kill. Huge double power play here from Demon Time. Can Carmine somehow hold the line? Doing a pretty solid job right now. Puts the ball into the corner, gets sniped away. Holds the line, though. We do have two teammates returning back. 2v1 situation onto Frightfully Fresh, which is going to make things nearly impossible. So, hey, Demon Time getting all those kills. They finally get their point. And that's what we want to see. We actually do want to see people getting rewarded for their efforts on the power play.
Yeah, great little kill found earlier into that point by Huss. Finding a beautiful secondary into flip. Fresh trying to walk up, try and get a really strong expanse angle out, get a big timeless value, and keep the ball up. But the Joker was not having any of that. Teleport, flip, immediately took him off the map. And on top of that, taking Carmine off the map with a beautifully placed primary. Not a single buff on that thing. No bait awakenings, no depth pummelers. There's just a single raw stealth primer, and on top of that, finds another kill with the help of Xianzhu. And now that the ultimates are online, it's looking like the side of Demon Time is looking so comfortable, but Gumi not. Unfortunately, immediately kind of positioning a little bit too far up, but it doesn't matter. The Joker puts the ball in anyways, despite the little bit of a unfortunate barrier loss happening at that point.
Yeah, let's just say a rocky start here from the Rats. Demon Time is kind of putting in that work right now. Xianzhu tries to get a kill there, in addition to Gumi also spending their flip, blasting Temple Melon in the face. Still not shattered, though, actually. Temple Melon holding on, and they're going to try to find themselves just a little bit more health as Carmine's going to fight onto the top side. Carmine is now completely staggered. A revive there, which unshatters you instantly. Well placed by Frightfully Fresh, handing the ball on over to Carmine. Xianzhu is going to try to make a break here for the barrier as Joker and Gumi are really just watching Temple Melon. They're actually just defending the ball ever so slightly and really trying to get the ball, or really trying to get Temple Melon off the map. Xianzhu is going to help as well. Basically block mid. Yeah, I mean, literally, we are just triangulating Temple Melon here. Forget the barrier, forget the players. Now, maybe it's time to get the barrier.
Yeah, we just spent 40 seconds of that point trying to kill Temple Melon. I think at least like 3 rotations of abilities from the side of Demon Time were spent taking out Tempo, and eventually it did all pay off. Tempo not coming up quite in time to help defend the last barrier, and that is a pretty strong looking 3-1 take for the first set going into this game. Demon Time, they just want to kill the brawler. We saw it went down last point, and I'm pretty sure the Joker spent 2 Estelle secondaries trying to hit Tempo, and Tempo just wiggled out of the way. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was just the game plan. Was like, we're gonna kill the brawler. I don't care how long it damn takes, and then we're gonna do it after we get this power play. And let's see what we can get to assist that. Joker grabbing some cooldown. Team player maybe puts a lot more pressure onto the opposing barrier, getting the ball through. Demolitionist also increases the range of Drakkar's primary too, since it's like a melee move. I'm like 90% sure. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Carmine, quick strike. I think that's exactly what they're looking for to play onto this midfield situation, although Gumi may be finding Carmine as the next kill target, who did in fact take Orb Dancer, which could go interesting here. And Temple Melon with Tempo Swing, which is, of course, as it needs to be.
Awakening.
Yeah.
But yeah, but honestly, one thing I think the most important awakening, both sides of that we have to look at here, is actually team player from Fresh, but unfortunately not able to find a team player pass and immediately stuffed out by the Dracar primary lock and load. But yeah, team player is what Fresh needs to get a lot of value out of this game. When tempo is being gunned down by the entire side of Demon Time, you need to be able to say, like, make the other side of the map look scary. You force them to either lose their resources and then lose the barrier in the process, or force them to just kind of stop blowing up someone on their team. So I'm hoping to see a lot of like fast plays coming up from team player, get the ball up the field, but it doesn't really matter. Tempo is one step away from dying, 0 steps away from dying, and Carbine is just coming back from the respawn. And the damage from Demon Time is just looking too good to stop right now.
You know, I just figured out the downside of team player. You have to have a team. And both of the teammates are dead 90% of this game. So honestly, Demon Time is doing a really good job of completely nullifying team player as a concept. Gumi surviving that onslaught from Tempo Melon with a flip, and now they actually get the barrier out. They already got, or sorry, they get the ball out, but they already got the barrier. Xianzu going to walk up here with a flip. Tempo Melon trying to stall out just for a second. Gumi flies on in there. Can't get much work done, although, man, another fat kill. Look at him. He's taunting. Gumi literally just having as much fun as he possibly can, while Joker and Xianzu do all the dirty work.
Yeah, Gumi's just happy to be here, playing on Amy's app, able to get a couple dozen kills maybe by the end of the game. Just having a great time, while the side of the Rat Pack is just looking so scary. Fresh able to find a great ultimate ability to barely keep Tempo alive for the rest of this point, but we're currently down 0-2. Barrier not taken yet. Gumi is sitting on a lot of resources, and the barrier not even found there. And it's kind of looking hard for the route for the Rat Pack right now. They're just not able to find any great interactions, not able to get any team player out, and someone on their team just happens to be dead almost the entire time.
Yep, there they go. Here we are. Another power play here for Demon Time as Gumi is standing on the midfield, gets the eject button with just a pixel left. Xianzu handing on over to Joker, who has a couple extra cooldowns, spends them. Frightfully Fresh does survive the interaction there, though. Carmine is now here to help the ball onto the bottom side. Team player, yeah. Oh my god, Xianzu, hero, saving that barrier. Honestly, team player makes it really hard to intercept the ball with something like Cyber Swipe, having a lot of startup. Although, they still are holding this barrier still. Frightfully Fresh trying to get the ball. Oh man, a kill from Temple Melon would have been humongous there, although could not find that one. And man, the team player is getting value, but not like really, you know?
Yeah, and I want to say, no like super scary team player shots. We had one kind of just go flying across that from the defense, but a great shotgun from Xianzu was able to defend that barrier for the entire point. And now Demon Time is up 3-0, and up many kills as well. The Spec Rasmus has just not been able to find a single kill through the Amy's app here. And a Twin Drive on Dracar just means that's a lot more primaries that are going to be empowered for the rest of the match. And things are looking pretty bleak if you're rooting for the Rat Pack right now.
True, but hey, core speed is what is going to take these barriers. And we do have a lot of core speed coming out here from Fresh, grabbing a hot shot as well. But, I mean, Joker getting stacks on stacks is pretty deadly. Carmine just denying, really, this prize fighter. Ain't going to do too much with that, and unless he gets super lucky. Gumi getting extra range on aerials is exactly what I could imagine would assist this Amy here. I mean, it's good draft here from Demon Time for the most part. Not super powerful, but we'll see if Xianzu can get a couple of extra kills here with that Twin Drive. Oh my god, they just cannot manage to get this barrier. Gumi is just a stonewall here, and Joker wins out a situation 2v1. Grabs the barrier by themselves as they once again are just triangulating onto Tempo Melon, who is just running in circles, can't really do much as this Rasmus, and now simply can't heal enough. I mean, we have Now and Atlas, and it hasn't even been close to enough. And there they go. Tempo Melon is on out of the board. If we thought for some reason that Tempo Melon was the one who was going to counter Gumi, well, they really just haven't been around. So Demon Time is doing what they need to avoid that situation.
And a beautiful dribble play off the middle coming from Xianzu to secure that point. And even though Huss has not been able to get that many stacks on either of his awakenings, I don't think he cares. He just is the game plan of just shoot someone on their team. It has always been successful, but is actually the Joker, who is looking very low into this point. Any abilities coming out from the side of Rats could be the thing to stagger him, could be looking to walk up and get the flip, but it's actually Tempo to go down to the Drakkar combo. Fresh is trying to move up the field, look for a flip kill. They're forcing him back. He can't stay up for too long without being risk of dying to the Drakkar combo, and the flip goes out. Two flips, taking Karma Nuclear off the field, and Fresh is forced to spend Haze to keep the barrier up. And even though the side of Demon Time has not had a barrier for this entire point, they have just kept possession. They've kept the ball up on the field, and on top of that, they've kept the player lead for a good amount of time, and then again, the ball just keeps rolling for them.
Oh my god. Another double power play here for Demon Time. I mean, a little bit earlier we saw Joker was just about staggered. This was their chance, but it now is not going to be doing that damage, and Atlas cannot move. Atlas is a totem character, so they don't have something like Amy to help get those kills, and even if they do get close, it's going to be so rough. And man, Demon Time has all the damage and all the coordination they need. Gumi with a beautiful shot onto the bottom side from that flip. The aerial's giving them the range to get there. This is kind of curtains for Rats, I feel, but it's definitely like a wonderful opportunity to turn the page onto a new game.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I don't see too big of hopes for the Rat Pack this game. They just don't have any kill pressure. They don't really have anyone to dash punch ever. Maybe the occasional Atlas gimmick can come out. But Tempo has not been able to be put into really any opportunities to look for a hook. Every time she has tried to get any spec value, she kind of has gotten blown up immediately. Gumi once again is popping a second and just kind of keep looking for it. And I don't really see any real win con from the side of Rat Packs. They have all these healing characters that they've opted into, and we're still going down. Barriers dropping, and possibly more kills being found. Drakkar looking for the secondary play. But I don't know. I just don't see anything that the Rat Pack can really do to be that scary this game.
I gotta admit, seeing specialized training Rasmus on Amy's app, I did have some thoughts. I was thinking a little bit. No longer am I thinking about that because Demon Time completely nullifying. Oh, nice reaction there from Fresh, keeping the ball safe. Oh, that's a point, guys. Guys. Gee, oh my God, they scored a point. That is actually huge. You only need one to win the entire series, so. Honestly, Rat Pack, you guys literally have this. Although, this specialized Rasmus only has gotten a single kill yet.
Yeah, it starts with a trickle, though. And honestly, Tempo had a beautiful play into that point. Not using the hook to kill, but actually just to control the ball in the top corner, taking a 1v3 strike war. But now Huss and Xianzhu looking for their signature passing plays. Huss looking for the score. Pops the flip, goes for the shot between Karma and Fresh, but they are able to defend it. And Gumi looks for the dash rush. Great reaction from Karma. And as a first kill, we have found this game. Tempo Melon rocketing from level 4 almost to level 7 in a single kill, and is now for the first time what feels like in ever, the Rat Pack has taken a power play.
Oh, it is over though, and Carmine is being smacked in the face by everyone on the planet. Gosh, favorable angle here from Joker, pushing it onto the top side. Xianzhu now just has one little now in mind, who does end up healing. A flip there from Fresh just to clear the ball pretty much, smacking Xianzhu in the face a little bit. They might get a kill from Tempo Melon, who pulls the ball, but not favorably enough to get it onto the other side. Joker holding the line. Oh, that's another point, guys. The Rat Pack wins. The Rat Pack is going to win.
It starts with a trickle.
Oh.
Yeah, the point is all of a sudden now that Tempo has managed to get that kill are looking good. They're able to keep the ball a lot further up than usual. When they have control, it's a lot harder for them to justify just kind of dumping their entire kit on Tempo Melon. Plus, looking for the dash punch there is not quite able to find it, but Fresh pops the Atlas Res on reaction anyways, which means now the Karma has all popped ult. There's no more healing really left inside of the Rats, but it doesn't matter. He looks for the up clear, gets around the back of the barrier, and lots of resources were spent from the Joker looking for the barrier, but not quite able to find anything. But Rats are just doing, now it's their turns. They seem to, we're looking alive right now more than they have for the entire series.
They can't get the barrier though, although they do get double flip out of the opponent. Okay, barrier is open now for the side of Rats. A flip from Joker is going to whiff. They're going to go for a super kill on the Tempo Melon, who does have the res either way. Although, not healing, kind of the worst situation for Tempo Melon. Goes to the backside to grab the final barrier, or to grab the orb from the opponent. Now there's too much pressure onto Fresh, and, well, yeah, Demon Time takes it, which is fair. Honest, man, Rats, gosh, honestly, I thought we could do it. I thought we could get that final set. You know, it only takes one set win, bro. You get your awakening. You feeling good, man? But
yeah,
all right, Demon time.
Things were looking good here at the end, but unfortunately, the snowball from Demons just kind of it rolled a little bit too big before the side of Rat Packs were able to really take revenge on anything there. And I mean, just look at the kill numbers. We have 8, 6, and 2 versus a single hook kill coming out from Templeman. And Amy's app is all about kind of pressuring the opponent to kind of misstep and find your team's kills onto the middle death area. And the side of Rat Packs were just not able to play for it very well. Even though Rasmus is the kind of signature character of this map, when you get to a higher level and both teams are kind of like more aware of where Rasmus is positioned and reacting to hook, it's a lot harder to find value out of them than you might think, even with the spec start. And Demon Time just showed how much more important it is just to have more higher damage and more dash punch pressure compared to just kind of trying to gimmick people with the hook.
If I could just turn everyone's attention to the amount of redirects Tempo Melon has. Now, I realize that these are good players, we're hitting the ball, but this is just a really good example of how the opposing team said we're just going to kill Tempo Melon pretty much the whole time, and regardless of where the ball is going. I kind of wish we could see barriers taken just like in general, but we don't have a stat like that. But yeah, Tempo Melon got completely nullified, like as a player, as a character, for like literally the first 95% of that game. The last set is where we really had something coming up, but Demon Time pretty much had a chokehold on the entire game there. I mean, they played it well, right? The opposing team had Rasmus specialized, and they made sure that there's no Rasmus specialized to be found. So these are veteran players taking their game plan to the next level on Amy's app, volatile as it can be. So next game shall be different, maybe.
I would also like to point out another thing I was pointing out in the pre-show today. Double midfield coming out from Demon Time. The Joker opting to pick up the Estelle, something he's been doing a lot going into this season. And honestly, I think they look pretty good. Estelle is a midfielder who can threaten kills almost as well as the rest of the Dash Punch brawlers. And when you're playing into an Atlas, a character who really only has melee pressure, he can hurt, but only into other brawlers. When the Joker doesn't really have to stand at that range at all, we can see that Atlas just wasn't able to get really any damage numbers out this game. Only 7k damage, no kills. Of course, Atlas not really a character you expected to find kills, but hey, sometimes when you eat a Monu missile prop primary, you die. But the Joker just kind of knowing that, locked into Estelle and kind of just played completely outside of Fresh's range. And when you're playing into the Estelle, looking for passing plays on the team player that we saw, it's just so much scarier trying to cross on that open net. So I actually really, really like the double midfield that Demon Time picked up this game as well.
True, yeah. Played it well. They dealt the damage. Got some good kill confirms. And that really, I mean, killing Temple Melon was like, I mean, obviously it's insane to get, a kill and a power play, but it made like half of Atlas not do anything, right? The team player wasn't really working out. Carmine just could not get past the midfield by themselves. So, I mean, the team simply could not play the game the entire time. But that's okay. These are good players. Demon Time is a pretty highly seeded team. Fifth seed here right now against 8th seed for the North American Strikers League. As we get into this next game, loading on up in just a few seconds. What shall we be seeing? Probably, there it is, Inky's map. We're also talking about how fun and interactive Inky's is, like legitimately. Like actually, like it does end up making sense at the highest level.
I love Inky's, but unfortunately something that we don't love here is Deadeye start, meaning that Demon Time has immediately banned the Luna. Yep, makes sense. That happened twice now. Deadeye start, just kind of get that out of here. And the Rats have actually opted to ban the Estelle this game. We did not like how play against it on the app and on Inky's, which has such a harder, compared to Hap especially, such a hard barrier to defend. An open map character like Estelle who can threaten, just attacking from either side, and also helping out on those rotates on both either midfield or goalie. I just think it's a really high value ban coming from Rats.
Totally agree. Yeah, I think Estelle is like super good on this map. Having access to so much range while the barrier is indeed that size is like super good, and also having like more effective range over the water cannon is also insane too. So I think High is also just about, probably not as good, but just about as good when making those like big singular plays to get that barrier. Sometimes it's really difficult to block out something like the barrage, and we'll see maybe a larger goalie for the opposing team. We do have Atlas showing up once again here, but it's for Demon Time, going to be blocking the ball. Or sorry, it's going to be for the Rats. Atlas for Rats. This is going to be the same situation here. I guess we're going to have Fresh on the Atlas once again. I think a lockdown goalie is... I think they feel about even to me when it comes to lockdown and ranged goalies for this map, because having effective range over the opponent barrier is so good because it's so big, but not being able to lock down your own barrier has its own disadvantages, of course.
Yeah, what I like about Alice is that he's actually in a really, honestly, perfect middle ground for this map because he has the time, he has a secondary to defend for as much as he wants, while also if he opts into the strike shot, that primary goes just far enough that if you're attacking the bottom side of an Inky's barrier, that Alice could actually help on offense there. And every brawler knows that trying to strike past an Atlas primary that's flying in your face, especially once he gets the projectile range, is really miserable. So he's like a character that we usually like to see on the map. But also, I'm looking at the Asher pickup from the side of Demon Time, the Joker on his signature brawler, and a character that I think is extremely annoying to play against on Inky Splash Zone. Asher's super good at shoving on either corners of the barrier. And of course, the dash punch pressure that you always have to be watching out for whenever you're trying to defend the bottom side. And I really do like the draft coming out from Demon Time. And I think a little bit of a wild card here is actually Rune, which could go towards Shianzu, but I wouldn't be shocked if Gooby decides, hey, it's time to pull out the Rune goalie, one of the few goalies to really ever like opts to picking it in NASL, and maybe that's all you want on Inky's, like just be able to hold down the barrier with these primers and still be able to walk up and just click it. You can try to gimmick people on Rune, check their toes. Something I'm really interested to see where this Rune's gonna be placed on the team.
I would be very wowed if it was Gumi on the Rune. Ending the match. Someone's picked the wrong thing. That's okay. Getting back into it in just a minute here. Yeah, I do think Rune is certainly the wild card of a pick, especially for this map. It's like Rune does have this really cool, like, his circle of affecting, his circle of, what am I trying to say?
Area of influence.
Yeah, area of influence. That's a good one. Area of influence is so unique to where he could pull the ball, push the ball. He actually he can put the ball in any direction he wants because of where you can spawn the pillar. So having that kind of range on, like, I think a midfielder, super awesome. And I love Rune goalie, but I would be so scared to play Rune goalie specifically on this map, as of course we see exactly what you said. Gumi is hovering over this Rune, and that's what it's gonna be. And I'm gonna take some notes here as we get on into it, because Rune certainly does have a great amount of offensive pressure with those pillars to just completely block off sides, but this is a very wide open map, so it takes a lot of skill to block off what you need to. I'm gonna watch that one.
Yeah, well, you'll see getting into this game. I will say the one downside I think that the comp of Demon Time has is actually that I don't think their kickoff is particularly scary. Of course, Rune can tap a primer and Shianzu can run up with the ball, but nothing to like immediately just threaten just kind of slapping damage into that middle area that both Amy has and Alex can threaten with his primary as well. And a beautiful water cannon setup, getting the shot immediately into the bot side, and that's Inky Splash Zone for you. First team to take a barrier has a huge advantage, and Demon Time, of course, are the team to watch when it comes to taking advantage of the Inky Splash Zone barrier.
Yeah, especially if you can like ride the water cannon, you have access to a disgusting amount of angles with that red ball to make sure to get that goal. And there's the barrier down. There's a kill. There's a power play. An ultimate there. Flurry coming out from Temple Mountain is going to easily secure that one. No buttons needed. Rat Pack going to answer right on back with a point of their own.
Yep, and that was Inky Splash Zone, 2 points in a row. It's kind of the barrier just kind of goes down, and that team can, if they have a good setup, can immediately snowball it completely out of control with the water cannon. And a lot of resources coming out right now. Gumi, I don't think any abilities left. Maybe a primary, of course, not able to find the strike to defend it. And it's, of course, the side of a Rat Pack getting the first water cannon, and beautiful setup there, but Shianzu was able to deny it just long enough. Yeah. The Temple Villain does not care. The ball gets up, she gets the flip and finds the shot to the top side. Gumi attempting to TP to kind of layer the strikes a little longer. Tempo, just good patience, waiting it out, and then seeing that Gumi's gone, it's time to just shoot it to where he's not. Getting the second point into the set.
Okay, I don't want, like, Demon Time to simply lose because of, like, Rune Goalie. Like, I don't think they would just lose because of Rune Goalie. I do think it feels like a rough pick to me. Like that situation we just saw right there, that is certainly Rune's best aspect, is blocking off something completely like that, forcing Fresh to use like a flip. Getting people to spend resources is great. But on a lot of situations, the Rune Pillar is going to have to be like so precise. Wow, just sacrificing the own barrier to let Joker ride it on in there, and that simply worked out. They got the ball down there fast enough to just AFK on that button. That was interesting.
Oh no, honestly, I really liked it from Goomy there, knowing that because Huss had flip, if he could get a super strong angle in the water cannon, make sure the ball is pushed into it as far as possible with no opportunity to kind of get it out, Huss would probably be able to find the goal. And hey, that's exactly what happened. The ball made it up there, got it through the Atlas secondary, and of course just slipped not to hit the core, but literally just to hit stun them. Was a beautiful little sacrifice from Goomy there, but a vicious TP immediately gives up the barrier, and on top of that, the rest of the set. A little bit of a miscall on Goomy, trying to get a portal up and looking for like an early strike there with TP positioning, but immediately passed down, and Carmine took advantage of it, taking not only the barrier, but the entire set in the process.
Yes, well played. Carmine was able to keep possession there after getting that barrier, smacking it against the wall, and got a little strike reset, I'm pretty sure, with the Cyber Swipe too, which is great. Gets extra special, which is one of Amy's really good on Amy. That's going to help get the barrier basically every single point. Get a little bit of health and some damage onto the Joker. Peak performance speed is going to help too. Kai, okay, getting explosive entrance. I mean, that's one of Kai's best aspects, especially on this map, going for those big plays. Frightfully Fresh Monumentalist is going to help defend these humongous barriers as well. So I think it's like pretty fair to say that both of these teams got decent stuff. I mean, Gumi getting size is like fine. That's not too great.
Honestly, I'm pretty surprised that Goomy opted in for the size over the cast to last. So I feel like the pillar duration is something that you'd really love to have on Amy's app, especially with Banish just becoming so much stronger of a tool. But I guess he just wants the size. He wants to get a little bit of a lead on the Strike Wars and make sure that he has the size to kind of make sure Tempo can't get any value. But unfortunate TP placement again means that Tempo is able to find the barrier, and the water cannon is something that the side of Rappack now has access to, but not able to quite find anything out of it. And we're kind of going to a stalemate with no sides having water cannon up for the rest of this point.
Oh, yeah, that's Rune. That's Rune right there for you. Tempomelon moving just a millimeter too fast with that peak performance is going to make it so that Rune didn't even have a primary. So sometimes that'll happen. As Rat Pack is now looking quite good, taking another point in this next set. Carmine spending the ultimate, dealing a whole bunch of damage to Xianzhu, not getting the barrier. Double banish is going to be great. Onto this double offensive pressure here. The Joker does end up finding a kill. Demon Time looking really good right now with this power play. Joker can't get their hands on the ball. Carmine gonna block onto the top side. A pillar isn't gonna do all that much either. Okay, Joker does grab the barrier with that barrier beam, which would make complete sense as the water cannon is going off and not going to score a goal just yet. Joker going to try to get the ball on down once into the hands of Xianzhu, into the hands of Joker one more time, who has a flip onto the front side, and they actually recognize that Tempomelon with a great kill to counter any situation. I mean, Xianzhu's the GOAT. Yeah, Xianzhu's the GOAT. What the heck?
Yeah, Giga Go coming. I'm completely calling out the pass from Fresh to Carmine, and immediately hits the ball straight back into the net. And even though Huss went down flip and the point was looking bad, a great play like that was all the side of Demon Time needed to take the point back. And honestly, I'm not surprised that Gumi isn't looking for many banish kills, because Fresh, he's Atlas' ultimate. If you can't react to the Rune Banish combo as an Atlas, we've got an investigation to run on your reaction time. So I'm not really expecting to see any more banish kills being looking for, unless Gumi knows that Fresh's ultimate is down for the rest of the game.
Yeah, facts and true. Let's see if Carmine can get close here with this flip. They probably waiting out for the Cyber Swipe, saying, "You'll hold the ball. I'm about to get the cooldown." Send the ball onto the bottom side. Gumi spends a flip for that one. Carmine not actually spending the Cyber Swipe just yet, which is great because the pillar was spent here by Gumi. They do survive here. Xianzhu holding the line onto the bottom side. Completely evades the Giga. Tempomelon sniffed that something was up. A flip from Carmine into the combo of a dash punch from Tempomelon is certainly going to be enough to get that point. And Rat Pack right now might be packing their things and taking this win to the next level.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised Tempo was able to get that out there. Not many, you usually see that dash strike from Juliet is not as scary of a combo that many other characters with secondary strike can beat because of how small her secondary range is. But Tempo still managed to secure the strike war on that. And Fresh is actually was caught just now looking to make sure that Carmine doesn't go down to a dash punch there.
Nice. Which
could mean that Gumi has a small little opening here to look for any banish combos that Rune can sometimes be known for. Unfortunate. Asher ultimate ability means that the cast was unfortunately cut from Shianzu to Joker. And no, okay, never mind. Barrier's taken, flips out, but a great defense from Carmine Fresh means that the point is not quite over yet.
Yeah, there's the water cannon is just going to actually self-pass to Joker, which was actually pretty skilled there. I love that. Great. Like, the ball can kind of go a couple different angles there, but right to Joker there, which is going to be perfect. 2-2 in this next set. Demon Time certainly going to look for a point to even this one up, to extend this game, get a couple more awakenings before we see the ending. Rune Pillar is going to be a great angle to get that barrier, and there comes the water cannon, not even needed. In fact, Shianzu and Joker make quick work of that point. Demon Time on the board. It's even.
Yeah, the Carmine was just not quite fast enough there to defend that barrier or the open net with his primary, just popping it a little bit too early and ends up sending it still further in. And now that we're sitting at 1-1 in the set score, team player going to Carmine is actually, I think, not that scary. Midfield team player, it's still strong, but it's not nearly as strong as having your goalie in the back, especially when you want to be rotating to a lot on this map. And Shianzu getting Twin Drive, I already thought about it earlier, I didn't mention it, but Kai kind of has a lot of control over the midfield this game. There's not really any pressure on Kai getting hit from like Juliet other than like the occasional dash punch, and Amy's midfield presence is not quite as like immediately threatening as Kai, who has barrage and ability to just kind of run all over the map. And now Twin Drive is online. It means that Shianzu is just going to be able to spend almost what feels like its entire game running all over the map, and a beautiful play off the water cannon means that not only will they find a kill, but also the first point going into the set.
Well played there from Demon Time. Making quick work at that point as well. Especially with the water cannon, always changing this game. I mean, the water cannon is momentum unlike any other. Nice pillar there from Gumi to defend that barrier. A perfect banish evade from Tempo Melon as well. Shianzu gonna get their hands on the ball here. Hopefully having the barrage doesn't even need it. The Joker flies on in there with the barrier beam, gets the stun. Ooh, close situation there for Fresh. Not gonna activate the water cannon just yet. Maybe setting up for it for just a moment. If they can get the ball into the hands of the Joker. Now the water cannon will come out in just a second. Oh man, Gumi waiting, actually, they're recognizing what's going on here. They get the kill, now spending the water cannon, although here comes the firewall sentry to block it. Frightfully Fresh gets the barrier by himself with the strike shot in this power play. Carmine in a tough situation, but the water cannon will not score by itself. Tempo Melon now back, dash punch, no punch, just dash. Getting the ult back down to Carmine. Man, tough situation, it gets banished. Carmine does have flip, is going to try to approach here into the center. They do get it, kind of whiffs the strike. Joker gets the barrier beam onto the ball, and now it's into the hands of Joker to get the ball in the midfield, or in the midfield with the flip. Finish this one off.
Yeah, but honestly, this point is just looking so scary for both sides. Of course, the ball has been up on the field for the side of the Rapax, but Huss has been holding on to this flip for the entire point, but unfortunately is forced to spend it on defense there. And a great mix-up from Tempo Melon. Feints the top side, going with the dash aimed up, and immediately strikes down, kind of breaking the ankles of Gumi there, and evening up the tally for the side of Rapax.
That was so wild. I feel like it broke their ancestors. Talking about their ankles, I mean, oh my god, the ball literally cannot score while the thing is closed, but if it could, I feel like it would have right there with that kind of particle acceleration. No problem there, though. A couple little glitches. Frightfully Fresh gonna get their hands on the ball here, though. Gonna try to get it to Tempo Melon. Gonna spend the flip to clear it on out. Gumi gets it. See if Tempo Melon can score here with the dash punch. Try to make it a little tricky, but doesn't end up getting that goal. Now it's kind of maybe in the hands of Carmine to get a cyber swipe situation going on. Although Gumi is looming here with the pillars, which is making things quite difficult for Fresh. You have to actually be really careful about your clear angles when Rune is too close. Same with Estelle, right? You can't just simply clear in front of the barrier. So you have to kind of dribble it to yourself sometimes. Goes in with the cyber swipe, does a lot of damage to Gumi and Shianzu. They're not going to find a kill just yet. Barrage not going to take the barrier either. We still have both up. Overtime is just about rolling over here. Gumi has a flip of their own. Let's see if they can make something happen with it.
Yeah, pops it, immediately gets the ball back into the corner here where Showtime has been trying to keep for the entire time. But unfortunately, angle from Fresh was just not quite good enough. Means that the barrier doesn't get down. Gumi barely misses the water cannon timing, but it still is up the field. Fresh defending as well as he can with the quick strikes. And Carmine, I feel like that's one of the first team player procs I have seen so far. There's a pass to Fresh. Nintendo is trying her hardest to get something here, but is not able to find the strike after the ultimate. And now Huss is kind of up the field on his own, but nothing able to quite be found. And Gumi hits advantage on both the core and Tempo Melon, but nothing quite is able to be found just yet. Almost going in towards the bottom side. And I feel like it just keeps going back into even. We're waiting on to see if Rat Packs can survive long enough before that side of Demon Time can get the water cannon back up.
Ooh, yeah, close situation there from the Joker. Getting a Red Bull hit with probably the help of... it was the help of Xianzhu there, but not going to score until that next situation where the Joker does get it in there. Has flip as well. Try to make quick work of this barrier too. Fresh has flip of their own, which might be able to counter it, or assist in getting their own barrier from the opposing team. Tempo Melon getting a lot of energy from just that combo. Finds a flip and gets a kill too. Big power play here for the side of Rat Pack. Can they get this barrier? They get a triple banish situation going on here. Joker returns to the board. Another pillar coming up here from Gumi. Carmine is looking a little bit weak, but they're probably not going to have enough damage to get the kill. But wow, nice barrier steal from Gumi there is going to alert the authorities. The water cannon is going to come out. A pillar completely stuffing Juliet, saving it as well. And those are some situations where Rune is like kind of unlike any other, where they can just completely block off a side and there's sort of nothing you can do about it.
Gumi has been attacking the top side into this range, just so it kind of looks so uncomfortable for Tempo Man. Not able to get anything out of it. And a beautiful banish from Gumi, stopping a dash punch from happening. Is able to move it up the field. And a flip from Xianzhu.
Oh my god.
But holds the entire time. Waits out the entire kit from Frightfully Fresh and is able to get the barrier, strike warring at the very last second. And that means that's set lead for the side of Demon Time. And they're looking pretty comfortable going into this draft. We got a little bit of dash range, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kai Xianzhu chooses to pick up, but also stacks on stacks as well. That's something to keep in mind here.
Good picks already. Kai gets even stronger. All the synergies there with the twin drive is going to be pretty threatening. Hot shot for Atlas, of course. Can't ever sleep on that. Stacks on stacks ends up falling down to Joker, which will be fast. Asher, Timeless Amy with combination with the extra special is going to be kind of demonic as well. Gumi picking up Orb Dancer, who actually had picked up Omega Infused Accelerator, is one of the more interesting awakenings that we see in the game. Not a ton of damage being sent in this game, so probably feels safe-ish with it. But they get a power play already. Demon Time finding a kill. See if they can get this barrier from Frightfully Fresh. Hotshot is going to give them a little bit extra cooldown, so going to be tough to get it through this lockdown goalie, bro. Oh, I lied.
Unfortunately, Strike Primer is a little scary. And what else is scary is when your Brawler just goes down to the water cannon. The ball is still managing to pop up towards the top side, and the Joker just puts it in. The momentum is swinging so hard in the favor of Demon Time right now that so the Rat Packs has a pretty high hill to come back from.
Man, look how fast Xianzhu is now with those dash perks, with that twin drive. Just has the ability to just get there every single time. Oh my gosh, Frightfully Fresh getting bamboozled themselves by the expansion and could not just simply save it there. It's going to be sort of a little own goal from Rat Pack as we're moving on to match set series point for Demon Time. Gumi goes in with a banish, goes in with the Path Splitter as well, has the sentry to try to negate some of that pressure. Tempo Melon almost kind of finding themselves on off the map, but finds an orb to keep themselves alive. Ball into the top side, a little bit of pressure onto Fresh is going to be cleared out pretty quickly by that strike shot. Xianzhu running across the entire United States with that extra speed, whiffs the Giga, now in the hands of Gumi, and now in the hands of Xianzhu to help this double goalie situation. Even the Joker backing up as much as they can to try to make it so that this set point is completely secure. Gumi maybe has a situation with this flip. Yeah, gonna spend it. Nullify the pressure put on by Tempo Melon. The barrier beam is not going to make it. Frightfully Fresh spends their resource flip. Carmine maybe looking for a kill with the one of their own, but now it's kind of maybe in the hands of Carmine to get this, and they spend it now. It's just the Joker who has the flip to get this barrier. Spends it, doesn't even need to, and the barrier beam takes it. And the life of Frightfully Fresh. Demon Time are winners 2-0 here against the Rat Pack.
Yeah, Demon Time is showing why they're one of the favorites to win this season. They just had such a great look on the Inky Splash, though. The rotates from them were looking super strong. It would kind of single out either Carmine or Fresh on the offenses. And on top of that, the kills that Huss or the Joker was able to find were super they were notable. Okay, they had Prize Fighter, had I believe Bulk Up, and it's just saying that when they're attacking the bottom side, Asher is just a character that can find so many of these kills, despite the fact that Atlas still had Expanse up, was kind of forced to save it for when Gumi had Banished. But honestly, just a great look from side Demon Time.
Absolutely, they look very well. They look very well seasoned on the Inky's map there. I mean, I know a lot of teams are playing it more often, using it as some sort of counter pick. They're trying to make themselves comfortable, and that's exactly what we saw. I mean, especially when you see Gumi just standing on the button, just saying, honestly, take that barrier. I'm standing on the button. I'm about to go crazy. And that's like the kind of knowledge that you need to win these kinds of games against a good team like the Rat Pack. We're really just on the come up here, bro. We saw, I mean, Rat Pack is up 2-0. Well, was 2-0, right? Now they are 2-1 against Demon Time here. But still, a really great team, and they have a lot to do as NASL has only just begun.
And I will say, I really did. One thing I want to point out here before we cap off this series, Rune goalie looked actually extremely strong that series. Tempo was not able to, whenever Tempo had a kind of a solo play looking for one of the corners, Rune was able to just kind of completely block out one of the lanes, and Gumi was doing a great job just kind of walking up, making sure that the Rune kind of area of influence with the primary was felt. And whenever he had to, he would TP back. And there was a couple of TPs, especially at the beginning of the game, where, yeah, let's be clear, Gumi completely misplayed and lost where his TP would put him. But other than those, Rune looked actually pretty great on the map. I will say, I would hope to see that maybe a couple other goalies might want to look into picking Rune up for possibly just kind of see how he feels. But hey, I'm glad that at least one person is making this character look good.
True. Can't say much more than that. I was completely shut up as I was not a true believer, but Gumi taking a lot of speed that game definitely helped out. Normally you would go for like creation stuff, but either way, great win for the side of Demon Time against Rats. Also a very strong team. We'll be seeing a lot of those teams in the next coming weeks, but we are going to go to a little break as we load up our next game. Don't go anywhere, guys. Boys versus HMG will be playing in just a few minutes when we return.
Point of grand finals, a long journey, all comes down to this. Looking for a passing lane, there's the opening on the outside, the pass is wide open, a beautiful shot to the corner, they've reached the summit!